If you've been lifting weights for a while, there's a 1 in 3 chance you'll experience a serious injury within the next 5 years. Do you want to know the scary part? At first, it might just be a minor discomfort, something you brush off as normal wear and tear. But over time, that small pain turns into a debilitating injury that forces you to stop training altogether. Many of these injuries come from exercises that are considered staples in most workout programs. Every day, millions of people unknowingly destroy their joints, setting themselves up for chronic pain, lengthy rehab, or even surgery. Let's start with one of the biggest culprits. 1. The upright row, a shoulder time bomb. The upright row is often praised as a go-to movement for building bigger shoulders and traps. It looks simple enough. Grab a barbell or a pair of dumbbells and pull it up to your chin. But beneath the surface, this movement is slowly grinding your shoulder joints into dust. Think of it like pulling a rope over a jagged rock. At first, nothing happens. But over time, the fibers eventually start to fray, weakening until they eventually snap. That's exactly what's happening to your shoulder tendons during an upright row. This movement forces your shoulders into internal rotation while elevating them, a dangerous combination that crushes the delicate tendons of the rotator cuff against the bones of your shoulder joint. Over time, this leads to impingement, inflammation, and eventual tearing of the rotator cuff. The worst part is that shoulder injuries are notoriously difficult to recover from. Unlike other muscles and joints, the shoulder is the most mobile but least stable joint in your body, making it highly prone to injury. That's why they account for 36% of all weightlifting injuries. The upright row forces your shoulders into an unnatural position, compressing the tendons until they eventually wear out. By the time you feel pain, the damage is already done. And if you're wondering about the recovery, it's brutal. Rotator cuff damage often requires months of rehab, and in severe cases, surgery that could cost anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. Even professional athletes with access to the best recovery protocols have had their careers ended due to shoulder injuries. So ask yourself, is the upright row really worth the risk? Each rep is like rolling the dice on your long-term shoulder health. And unfortunately, this is just the beginning. The next exercise is even more deceptive because it tricks you into thinking you're building strength when you're actually tearing your body apart. 2. Kipping pull-ups. Momentum over strength. If you've ever watched someone knocking out rep after rep of kipping pull-ups, you might think they've mastered the art of bodyweight training. But the reality is that they're using momentum, not strength, to cheat their way through an exercise they're not ready for. Think about it. If you can't do a strict pull-up, why would swinging into one be a good idea? You wouldn't sprint before you can walk. You wouldn't deadlift without learning proper bracing. So why force a movement your joints aren't prepared for? Kipping puts extreme stress on your shoulders, elbows, wrists, and spine. Imagine driving a car over potholes every day. At first, your suspension holds up, but over time, the constant impact weakens the structure until something finally breaks. That's exactly what's happening to your spine, elbows, wrists, and shoulders when you do kipping pull-ups. Instead of relying on muscle strength, the movement uses momentum, violently whipping your body into an unnatural position and slamming your joints with each rep. Strict pull-ups, when done correctly, strengthen your back, shoulders, and arms in a controlled and safe manner. But kipping pull-ups bypass this strength-building process, forcing your body into compromised positions where tendons and ligaments take on the stress instead of muscles. The result is chronic tendinitis, rotator cuff tears, and even herniated discs. And unlike sore muscles, these injuries don't just go away with rest. A herniated disc can take years to heal. And severe elbow tendinitis can make even the simplest movements, like picking up a cup of coffee, painful. Surgery might be the only option for some, but even that isn't a guarantee of full recovery. Many athletes who undergo surgery for joint damage never regain their previous level of performance. So before you jump up to the bar and start swinging, ask yourself, is this really making you stronger, or are you just fast-tracking your way to injury? Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video or learning something new, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. It really does help out. 3. Smith machine squats. A false sense of security. You walk into the gym on leg day, ready to squat. You see a squat rack with a bar attached to a sliding track, the Smith machine. It looks like the perfect tool. The bar moves in a straight line, keeping you balanced and allowing you to load up more weight. But that's exactly why the Smith machine squat is one of the most dangerous exercises for your knees, back, and hips. A proper squat is a natural movement. Your body adjusts throughout the motion, engaging stabilizing muscles and shifting your weight to maintain balance. The Smith machine removes this crucial aspect of squatting. Instead of letting your body find its own optimal movement pattern, it forces you into a fixed, unnatural range of motion. This causes an uneven distribution of stress, making your joints absorb the impact instead of your muscles. The result is excess strain on your knees, leading to potential ligament damage, increased pressure on your lower back, heightening the risk of disc herniations, and compromised hip mechanics that could lead to long-term mobility issues. Countless videos online show lifters suffering knee hyperextensions and severe back injuries from Smith machine squats, all because the machine locked them into a movement their body wasn't meant to do. Think about it. No Olympic weightlifter, powerlifter, or professional strength coach recommends Smith machine squats. They know that true strength isn't just about moving heavy weight, it's about control, mobility, and proper mechanics. The Smith machine takes all of that away from you, giving you a false sense of security while quietly setting you up for a catastrophic injury. So before you step into that machine, remember, every rep is a gamble, and one bad lockout could be the mistake you can't undo. 4. Bench dips, a shoulder nightmare. Bench dips might seem like a simple and effective triceps exercise. You see people cranking them out at the gym, thinking they're building strong, sculpted arms. But what they don't realize is that each rep is quietly setting them up for a devastating shoulder injury. The movement forces your arms into extreme extension behind your body, placing enormous stress on the front of your shoulders, particularly the rotator cuff and the delicate ligament stabilizing the joint. Here's the problem. The human shoulder wasn't designed to bear heavy loads in such a deeply extended position. In a bench dip, your shoulders are stretched back while supporting your full body weight. This unnatural position can cause micro tears in the rotator cuff over time, leading to inflammation, impingement, and eventually a complete tear. And once your rotator cuff is damaged, it's never the same. That's not even the worst-case scenario. There are horrifying cases of lifters suffering complete humerus fractures, literally snapping their upper arm bone in half while attempting weighted bench dips. When you load weight onto an unstable and mechanically disadvantaged position, the weakest points in your structure take the hit. The moment the bone can't handle the force, it gives out. If that happens, surgery is almost inevitable. Rotator cuff repairs are notoriously difficult, with a long, painful recovery process and a high failure rate. In fact, 40% of rotator cuff tears never fully heal, even after surgery. If you tear it a second time, the odds of regaining full function drop close to zero. And let's not forget the cost. Shoulder surgery runs between $5,000 and $15,000, followed by months of grueling physical therapy. And for what? A minor triceps pump? You can get the same benefits without the risk by swapping bench dips for parallel bar dips, close grip push-ups, or triceps pushdowns. These exercises effectively target your arms while keeping your shoulders in a much safer, more natural position. 5. Behind the neck lat pull-downs, a useless and dangerous lift. If you're still doing behind the neck lat pull-downs, it's time to stop. Behind the neck lat pull-downs might look like an advanced variation, but in reality, they offer zero benefits over the standard version, and they come with a long list of potential injuries. First, let's talk mechanics. When you pull the bar behind your head, you're forcing your shoulders into extreme external rotation, a position they're not designed to sustain under heavy loads. This unnatural stretch puts tremendous strain on the rotator cuff, increasing the risk of tears, impingement, and chronic inflammation. Unlike a traditional front pull-down, which allows for proper scapular movement, the behind-the-neck version restricts the shoulder blades, putting all the stress directly on the joints. Then there's the added risk to your cervical spine. To clear the bar, you have to tilt your head forward, placing your neck in an awkward, compressed position. Over time, this can lead to spinal misalignment, nerve impingement, and chronic neck pain. And what's the payoff? Absolutely nothing. There is no scientific evidence that behind-the-neck pull-downs activate your lats any better than regular pull-downs to the chest. In fact, studies show that the standard front pull-down engages the same muscles, without the risk of injury. So why take the gamble? Stick to pull-downs in front of your chest. Or even better, do pull-ups or chin-ups. These exercises provide superior lat activation while keeping your shoulders and spine safe. Remember to train smarter, not harder. Lifting weights is supposed to make you stronger, not break you down. But if you keep doing these high-risk exercises, you're not training for strength, you're training for injury. There are always safer, more effective alternatives that will help you build muscle without the long-term damage. So before your next workout, think twice about what you're putting your body through. There is no personal record or ego lifting that is worth months of rehab or thousands of dollars in surgery. Train smart, protect your joints, and build strength that lasts a lifetime. Thanks for watching.